Hello. I can't even say that without laughing. I had a couple of comments that I went through. Like I say, I don't go through all my comments. There's just too many of them these days. I'm too old. I don't care. You hate me. How does that hurt me? But those of you that say kind things, I always look at yours. Jesus. Anyway, I wanted to do a video here, and I hope I can be straightforward and as hopefully as honest as I can be. The Mormon Church is like Jekyll and Hyde. Now, the Hyde part is where they take your hide and they pin it to the shed outside and beat the crap out of you. The Jekyll is what many people in the church see and many people outside the church see. Now this is the tricky part of life. Many times something looks innocent, it looks inviting, and when people say, oh no, that's a terrible thing, you go, hey, I don't see it. It's not my experience. You must have an axe to grind. Well, here's the trick. When you're young, 18, 28, 30 years old, you're stupid. At least I was. I believed everybody and everything. I thought if a man gave his word, that he'd follow through. I thought if an advertisement on TV said a free car, I'd go in and get the free car. Anyway, many things look lovely, inviting, and innocent at first. It's kind of like a baby. Babies are so cute. They're little tiny people with little tiny arms, and they laugh and smile, and they're so fun. I just love little kids. Anyway, they grow up. The bastards become teenagers, and then worse, they get older. Then they say they hate you from 20 until they're 50, and then at 50 they say, well, Dad, I hit my kids just like you do, and I yelled just like you did, and I ground them just like you did, and the little bastards are monsters. Welcome to parenthood. Welcome to parenthood. So anyway, the Mormon Church is a little bit like a precious child, but if you put tithing money in its mouth, it'll grow into a monster. It'll grow into E.T. or something. Anyway, let me give you an example. I've been wanting to do this video, but I wanted to get a resolution so that I can report to you it's over. Not my life. I did get a warning on one of my hits yesterday. They said, don't underestimate the Mormon Church. Said, you're becoming large enough to become a pain in the ass to them. And they like to clean their ass out all the time. The pains. I may be one of them. I and my wife went to the Stratosphere Hotel in Las Vegas. And when we were in there, we went by this little table that said, free 3-day vacation. Hell, see, I'm still stupid. I was a Mormon my whole life, and I'm still stupid. So I go over to this desk and go, I'd like to have my free vacation. Oh, there's just a couple of things. Now, that's the Mormon Church. I want to join, but there's just a couple of things. So okay, what are they? Said, well, you can have this 3-day vacation with this card right here. I'm going to sign it. And it was a timeshare. That's what, yeah, 2 of you, 800 of you fell off your chair. It's a timeshare. You share time. So anyway, they said, you can have this. I said, good. So they signed the card, and I said, okay, is that it? And they said, no, you have to go to a 1-hour presentation over at another hotel, and we'll pay for everything, your transportation, whatever, and all you have to do is sit in a meeting, listen to our timeshare program, and if you like it, you can buy it. If you don't like it, you can come back, and that's the end of it, but you do get your 3-day vacation. And they said, oh, by the way, the 3-day vacation is not until 6 months. I said, hell, I've had quad bypass. Can we move that up just a few months? They go, no. Because they know you're going to lose that card in 6 months. They know you're going to be sick. You had to be over 55 to take this tour and go over there. And the lady said, are you over 65? And I said, you have shit for brains or you just need glasses? She said, okay, okay. So we go over to this meeting, and it's like the Mormon church. It's like the Mormon church. It was beautiful. The people were so friendly. The salespeople like had wings on them from heaven, and they came over and sat with us at our table, and they were so interested in our families and our life and how we use vacation money and where we'd like to go. And they had, you know, like 180 countries all over the world had these beautiful resort hotels that you could go in there for free if you paid your condo dues, and they had reservations open for you. Hey, this could be good. So we watched the movie, just like the Mormon temple. It seemed good. It seemed good. I didn't see anything wrong with the movie. So anyway, then they moved us to another room, just like the Mormon temple. They keep moving you from room to room. You get closer and closer to your wallet. So anyway, we get to this beautiful room. It's like the celestial room, and it has all these windows, and you overlook Las Vegas, and man, you feel like, you know, you're one of the rich people, that you're going to have a place to stay like this. Instead of the back seat of the car, or sneaking into the Motel 6 alone, and then putting 18 kids in after dark that you kept in the trunk of the car like the old drive-ins. Anyway, the gentleman, and he was a black man, that doesn't matter, you know, he was Obama's friend, and he sat us down, and he said, well, did you like our program? See, there's the missionaries, well, yes, it seems eternal families and loving and Christ-like. God, that seems bitching to me. Baptize me. I'm in. I said, well, yeah, it seemed cool. I kind of liked it. And he said, well, could you just write me a check for $50,000? I said, if I want to go to jail, I could. It would bounce all the way down onto that sidewalk, 10 floors down, and then bounce to Kolob. He goes, oh, you can't afford that. I have no shame. I said, hell no. I said, I'm still raising 2 kids. I'm not going to write you a check for $50,000. Well, how much can you afford? 10? I said, when Monson becomes Catholic, he goes, all right, 5. I go, listen, black man, we don't have $5,000. We like the timeshare idea, but, you know, we are not in a position right now to buy anything. Well, his friendship and interest in our family went down the poop chute right there. And that's like the Mormons. As soon as you say anything against them in a ward or a stake or on a TV show or whatever, you know, they're not your friends. You are the enemy. So I didn't want to be an enemy, and I told him, I said, you know, I'm just sorry. We liked the idea, but we didn't know it was going to be this expensive, and we also wanted the free 3-day vacation. So he leaves us. Now, I don't know if he just... I thought he was going to get maybe the closer, and he did. He went and got another guy, and the 2 of them stood over us there, and, you know, it's like the missionaries. Don't you want to be saved? Don't you want your family don't you want to be married to her forever? And not really. So, anyway, the closer and the black man leave. And I thought, well, maybe we're okay to go. It's kind of like going into the celestial room of a temple. You never know when you can leave. It's kind of like the Hotel California. You can check out, but you can never leave. So I started to get up with my wife, and we started to walk out. And damn, it's like cockroaches. Like missionaries. More of them started surrounding us. And they said, we have got a deal for you. And I said, God, I just saw your $50,000 deal, and I'm not interested. Oh, no. If you like the idea, we have a sampler. Kind of like the Mormon church, you know. Pray, and if you feel a burning in your bosom, it means God is telling you to be baptized. Well, you pray, and the suggestion of a burning in your bosom, I guess, drives some people to say, yeah, God told me to join. So they take us in another room. Now, God damn. It's like going from the terrestrial room to the telestial room and to the celestial room, but we didn't have to give any handshakes or tokens or symbols. So anyway, we go into this last room. Now this really young guy, which is like the lady missionaries to my wife, and he was from the Philippines. I think they went and got a Filipino guy because my wife was Filipino. Just like the Mormons, they teach the kids in your language, and then they come to your house in the Philippines and they speak Filipino, and you go, hey, you know, this is a good person. So anyway, he seemed extremely nice, just like the black man, because he thought he was going to get us too. And he did. He did. He said, okay, look, we have a sampler, and you can take the sampler and try it. And if you like it, then you can go ahead and buy the whole thing. Hey, that's like a test drive in a car. This is called Diamond Resorts, by the way. Diamond Resorts in Las Vegas. Anyway, he says, do you have $350? And I said, well, probably stuffed in my shoe. He goes, get it out. So what he did is my sweet wife took one of her credit cards and she paid $350 down. That's not too much to lose. And then she says, I don't want this in my name because I feel something here. I go, oh no, honey, this is a good deal. I've been in the world 65 years. I know what the hell I'm doing. You're from a third world country. You don't know shit. Okay. So she pays her $350. Well, then I come home with all the pamphlets and all the things that they gave us. Well, I started reading the pamphlets carefully. Now, the first thing is, you can't go anywhere for 6 months. You have to pay the condo fees, and they were like $200 or $300 a month. No, mine were like $135 a month because I had a little condo, and I had to pay that for 6 months. So there's a $700, $800 out the window before I can even go. Then I saw that the sampler only had 6 places you could go. Your house, Las Vegas, South Las Vegas, Snowflake, Arizona, and God only knows someplace in Mexico where the drug cartel rents you a room. I go, wait a minute. I thought we could go anywhere in the world. So I complained. I bitched. You know me. I just put my, hey. Because this beautiful child and this beautiful idea that I really liked started to turn ugly, just like the Mormon church. So I wrote to Chase, one of our banks, and they said, oh, no, don't tell the Danites that we bank at Chase. I think Mormons have a lot of people at Chase. We'll find a new Caribou. We'll give you his address. So we wrote to Chase, and we sent in all the crap that they gave us, and we said, hey, this is not what we were told in the sales interview and the sales presentation. Well, that's the story of the Mormon missionaries. What you were told is not true. It is much, much worse than a missionary will ever tell you. They want you to come in slowly and then go, oh hell, I don't want to be embarrassed. I'll go ahead and clean the toilets. Jesus loves me. He'll bless me for cleaning toilets. So the missionaries don't tell you that. Well, the salesman missionaries in Las Vegas, which the Mormons settled and basically built Las Vegas with Howard Hughes and the mob. So anyway, we write to Chase, we send all the crap in, and Chase comes back and said, well, we're sorry to report that you signed a contract that says it cannot be rescinded. You didn't see that part of it, but they said you can never get out of it. So this is again the Hotel California Mormons. You can't resign, you can't get away. They knock on your door and they're constantly calling you and say, we're missing you. They really mean we're missing your 10%. So Chase said, we can't do anything about it. You guys were stupid and you just lost $350 on her credit card and we can't reverse it. Well, now I'm pissed. But I figure $350 mistake for learning something. I've heard terrible things about timeshares. Now I'm bearing my testimony. They're all true. So anyway, we thought, well, so I wrote to them. I called them 3 times, and I put in 3 or 4 emails. And, you know, a lot of the adjectives that I used started with F. But anyway, they said, oh, we'll fix this. Well, that's like the Mormon church. You go in and bitch to the bishop or the stake president. Oh, no, we don't do that. No, we don't marry 14-year-olds. And then you go back to the chapel, and your 14-year-old is missing off the bench. And you see her running down the hall in a wedding gown. You go, oh, shit. So anyway, I wrote, I complained, etc. And they basically said, screw you, after I said to them, screw you. So I thought it was a push. It's a $350 lesson, and the bastards got me. Just like the Mormons, they got me too, but they got me for 50 years. Anyway, the next month, my wife, she's very careful of watching her money, and she noticed there's $135 that was taken out of her Chase account to Diamond Resorts. And she looked at me and she said, we didn't sign anything that said automatic debit out. I said, no, we didn't. Now, this is a smart girl. She goes, that ain't legal. I go, you're right, it's not. So this time we wrote to Chase, and they said, what's the problem? And we said, we didn't authorize that. And sure enough, a month or two later, the 135 came back into our account. And Chase wrote us a little note that said, you won this one. You're right. You never signed anything, and they illegally withdrew your deposit after you told them that you wanted to quit. Well, this is kind of like getting your money back from the Mormons after you've paid tithing. Don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. So I'm going, hey, the caribou one. And I apologized to my wife. I said, I was an idiot. I'm old enough to know better than this shit, and I should have read the small pages and the small print, but I can't read it anymore. So, is that an excuse? No. So, I'm sitting in my chair. It's a king throne. Jesus. It's better than Monson's chair at General Conference. It's better. Mine reclines back so you can lay flat. Boyd K. Packer could use one of those so he doesn't fall off on the floor. They just seatbelt him into his place there. Anyway, I'm sitting in my chair, drinking a Coke, eating my potato chips, which is on my diet, and the phone rings. Now, we have a special phone, okay? There's only 6 or 7 people in the world that can call on our phone. It's unpublished, and we don't give that number out. So, I know a computer call when I hear it, because when you pick it up, there's no human there. It's the computer for a second or so, and then the human comes on because the computer says, hey, the idiot picked up the phone. So I said to the phone person, I said, who's calling, and what is this in reference to? And they kept saying, is the new caribou there? Is the caribou there? I said, you didn't answer my question. No. I have some collection experience. Not collecting. It's not paying. So I knew they had to have the name of the person because it was a collection call. Well, I said, who is this? And they said it was Diamond Resorts. And I said, well, let me tell you something, which I never identified that it's me on the phone. And with those of you that write to me, I always wear a wig, so no one knows who I am. But anyway, I said, we don't want to do business with you people. We hate you people. You lied to us. You stole our $350. Well, this is like writing to the first presidency. You might as well talk to the hand, because no one is going to sympathize. They're there to collect. And they go, well, we tried to take money out of your account again, and you changed your credit cards. Yeah, we sure did. So she's smart. Mercy's pretty damn smart. She changed her credit card. So they couldn't get the money. Well, I was there for the next 2 or 3 days, and the damn telephone kept ringing and ringing, and sure enough, after, I have to remember I'm in public. After about the 8th or 9th phone call, I said to the man or woman, it didn't matter because it's a Mormon, it's a Mobot. They're male and female, makes no difference in the Mormon church. And I said, listen, I've been courteous to you on many occasions here this morning. Now, I'm not going to be. And I said to her, a word that starts with F, and then you. Don't call here anymore. And as usual, I hung up. Well, they just put on their little call card, client a little upset, and they give it to the next person, and the next shift comes in, and the computer is programmed to dial it again and again. So I finally said, okay, we're going to change our phone number. And we did, and they quit calling. So now they can't get our money. They can't call. And, you know, are they going to leave us alone? I don't know. If they're like the Mormons, I know they're not. I'd love to see him in small claims court, because Diamond Resorts, remember that name, because you know, if I'm not telling the truth, they could sue my ass forever. Okay, Diamond Resorts in the stratosphere, which I called the stratosphere, and I said, you know, we're very unhappy with these people. I don't think you should let them put a table in your casino because it reflects on you. Oh, okay. You're just like talking to a state president. Oh, okay. They must have learned in Vegas how to do that. I don't know. So anyway, we've made all the complaints, and hopefully we've pulled out. Now, the summary of my story is that I have a lot of sympathy for young people under 30, 35 who say, gee, my experience in the Mormon church is not like yours. I haven't had these experiences. Stay in. Stay in. You will. You will. This is like a newborn baby. When the missionaries come to your house, it's fun, fun, fun. And then as you put tithing money in the baby's mouth, it grows into a monster. And pretty soon you're out of house, you're out of home. If you don't talk to the child, I mean, you know, there's every punishment in the world for you. You have come into a cult. You don't know you're in a cult. The real smart ones, they know it at 18, 22, 23. But a lot of us, we're not even questioning the Mormon cult until 35, 38 years old. That's when I started and go, hey, this doesn't seem right. Hey, this doesn't, and pretty soon, you know, all the things the missionary said weren't true. They just weren't true. So anyway, be careful, and let me be not condescending, but let me be empathetic to you Mormons who write into me and go, gee, you know, no, our church doesn't do, no, we don't do that, no. Yes, you do. Stay in long enough. They're hoping that I will die off, and all the other people, 60, 70, 80 years old, will die off, and our memory of the real Mormon church will be gone. And then suddenly you'll have a new history, you'll have a new doctrine, you'll have new policies and new procedures. Well, I stayed in too long. I was in there over 50 years, an active member of the church, and then I resigned. I wasn't excommunicated, folks. I'm telling you, the Diamond Resort timeshare experience looked good at the beginning. It turned into a nightmare. A nightmare. Now, the Mormon church looks good at the beginning. It will turn into a nightmare. I believe the way we were treated with Diamond Resorts, that it's a ripoff. And I believe the way we were treated in the Mormon church was a cult. Just my opinion. But anyway, be careful. Be wise. I'm old. I never should have done that. I'm past that experience. And yet, as humans, we get excited. The music is going and the dancing girls. Especially the dancing girls. I wasn't paying attention to the contract at all. The dancing girls. And they screwed me. Just like the cute lady missionaries that show up. I go, hey, I'll join this church. Sign me up. They're cute. I love the Mormons, but I don't love the doctrine, procedures, and the leadership. It's a cult, and they're making money hand over fist. We got robbed $350 from Diamond Resorts, and they tried to take another $135 every month, and they just weren't going to leave us alone on the phone. Don't give your phone number out to anybody. Don't sign anything, and read everything before you join the Mormon church. Thanks.